Welcome back, action figure fans. Today, we're going to be looking at 10 more random, awesome action figures from my collection. 5 good guys and 5 bad guys. Got some Marvel Legends and Marvel Selects today for us to look at. Here they are. Okay, let's go ahead and start back over here. And we have an X-Man. We have Havoc. Now I have all the effects that came with him. Of course, he can shoot plasma, converts the sunlight to plasma energy. So I have all the effects on him, and they look really cool with the effects. You could obviously display him without those effects and he would be just fine. But I kind of like these effects on Havoc. Not quite sure about the color blue. You'd think a yellowish white would be more of the color for him, but there he is. I've always kind of liked his costume. And that's a good X-Man figure to have. It's a good Havoc figure. And there he is. Okay, moving on to Elektra. I guess she was Daredevil for a while. But Elektra is usually, or most people know her in the red costume. She also has a white one as well. This one came in a 3-pack with Bullseye and Matt Murdock Daredevil. And I think this is a really good figure. This is probably the best Elektra figure for the face. I think that's the best face sculpt on an Elektra figure to date. I really like the hair and the way it's sculpted. And of course, she's just got her ninja outfit on. I like it there with the sword. So that's a good Elektra figure. They'll probably redo that in the red costume at some point. Okay, moving on to another X-Man. We have the Multiple Man, Jamie Madrox, I believe his name is. And this is an old style costume, probably from the 80s. I think in the more modern comics, he has a different look. But I kind of like this old costume on him. Now I bought 2, one to open, one to keep on my in the package on my wall. If I see him on sale, I'll probably buy some more of him. Just, you know, he can make multiple versions of him, but I didn't want to spend $25 for a whole lot of them. But if you can find him cheap, get him and make a little army builder out of him. It'd look cool. Okay, now we have Tony Stark. And I have 2 versions, of course, one with the Tony Stark beat up face on him and one with his armor. Same figure. This is just some more of his pieces on him. So this Iron Man came packaged with a Thanos. This was a 2-figure set. And I really like this one right here. I'm glad I have 2 because I really like this armor. I really like the way it looks. And he's got, of course, the shield. I don't know if you call that a gun or what, but he makes that out of his armor. So I really like this. This is really a good Iron Man figure straight out of the movie. But if I only had one, I would choose to put him like this right here. I just love that Tony Stark head. And of course, this is when he has acquired the Infinity Stones, the gauntlet, and there it is. And he's getting ready to bring back all the people that Thanos blipped out of existence when he snapped his finger. So when I have him on my shelf, I actually have him down on his knees. I pose him like that. And this is a great figure. This is one of my favorite Iron Man figures that they have done in a long time. It just captures Tony Stark so well from the movie. And I like it a lot. It looks great on the shelf. Okay, moving on to a Marvel Select. And like I always say, Marvel Selects are a little bit bigger than the Marvel Legends, and you can see why. Daredevil is pretty much towering a little bit over Tony Stark there, Iron Man. And so they had two versions of this guy when he came out. They had the masked version and the unmasked version. The unmasked version was by far the harder to find, and it's quite more a bit more valuable, I believe, than the masked version. But of course, I like the masked version better. But when I have the chance to get both versions, I tend to do so. That's a good Daredevil figure. It's got good color. I think he's the right proportion. Daredevil is not super muscular. I think he's more like a gymnast would be. And I think they do a good job with Daredevil in this figure. It's quite dated. It's quite old. I believe it's probably at least 10 years old, this figure. But it still holds up, I think, really well. He looks good with your Marvel Selects on your shelf. Now, I usually have my Marvel Selects all together, and then I have my Marvel Legends together. But there are sometimes I think the Marvel Select is the perfect size, and I do mix them with the Marvel Legends. Okay, moving on to the bad guys. Here we have a Loki figure from the Loki TV show, but for me, this is like a classic 1963 Journey into Mystery number 85, first appearance of Loki. This looks just like that. And I love the colors on this Loki. I love the head sculpt. Everything about this figure I think is great. This is a 9 out of 10. I mean, I think they really knocked it out of the ballpark with this Loki figure here. So for me, it's just like I said, it looks just like the actor that played him, and I thought he was great in the Loki TV show. And I consider that to be like a classic Loki figure. Awesome figure. Well done. Okay, moving on to another X-Men villain. And here we have Strife. Now, what I know about Strife is he is I believe, a clone of Cable, the time-traveling mutant. And so I'm sure he has all the same powers as Cable, telekinesis. And that's a cool looking figure. I mean, just if you knew nothing about him, but just looked at him as the figure with the costume and everything, I mean, this looks really cool. The armor looks great. I believe that's the best Strife figure that they've ever made. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I do know that this figure looks really, really cool. And if you want one Strife figure in your collection, this is the one to get. He did come in a 5-figure box set. And I'll show those other figures he came with later, but he looks really good. So there we go. There's Strife. Okay, moving on to I guess you'd say a Captain America villain. Works with the Red Skull, works on his own, and his name is Aram Zola. He was a Nazi back in the day, and as he got older, he knew his body was going to die. So he downloaded his consciousness into computers, and then he had a robot body constructed and downloaded himself into that body. He is some kind of super geneticist. He can clone, he can create artificial beings, super intelligent, and obviously his robot body is superhumanly strong. So there you go, Aram Zola. It's a strange looking figure, but it looks really, really good. It looks just like it does in the comic books. So I do like that figure a lot. I love villains like that. You need good villains for your heroes. Speaking of good villains, here's one of the best. We have one of the many, many Venom figures that Toy Biz and Hasbro has made. I believe this one right here is from a early Spider-Man Classics toy line. And it's okay. Definitely not some fantastic Venom figure. He's big, he's buff. He's got that huge tongue sticking out. He's got a good-looking face on him. And he's a cool Venom figure. I have lots and lots of Venom figures. So I would say he was like in the middle of the pack. Not bad, not great, but he's kind of a cool figure to have. And the best thing about him, I think, is the tongue and the face. And he looks really good. So there we go. Okay, now we have a new figure. I just got this in the mail just a couple of days ago from Big Bad Toy Store. Shout out to them. They're a great company. Check them out if you've never checked them out. And here we have the Green Goblin from the new Spider-Man movie that came out fairly recently. And I really like this figure. Now, he did come with a Green Goblin head that you could put on him, but I have several Marvel Legend figures with that Green Goblin head on there. So I decided to keep this head on there, and I really like it. They really did a good job capturing William Dafoe's likeness. So I'm going to have him with William Dafoe's face on there. And he's super articulated. And his glider there, of course, has movement on that as well. I really like that they include this little flight stand. It's not the most stable, but it looks good. This is an almost perfect William Dafoe Green Goblin figure. I would highly recommend you picking this guy up. You might want to, I guess you could take the risk and see if he goes on sale. It seems to me like most Marvel Legends, if you wait 6 months to a year, they go on sale. But there's always a chance that he will just sell out. A figure this good, I'd pick him up. Wow, what a great figure he is right there. All right, so there we go. That's the 10 random action figures for this video. If you've been liking my videos, please share them with a friend. Please watch my other videos if you like these. I got quite a few made now, so go ahead and watch those as well. All right, friends, take care. Bye.